Today, my friends, I'm putting 3 stick vacuums, yes, 3 of the most popular stick vacuums on the market today, up against each other. Why am I doing this? Well, so you don't have to. Here are the 3 competitors. Today we have the brand new Ryobi 1+ HP Whisper Stick Vacuum. The competitor to the Ryobi is the Dyson V8, another very popular vacuum brand, and then the Tineco Pure One S11, another very popular brand. We're going to see what comes in these packages. We're going to use and abuse and see which one does the best. All right, so let's open these all up and see what comes in. The reason why I need one of these pet vacuums as well, because of him right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these packages real quick. You do get a few things with the Tineco. You got the digital display on this thing. It's all cool looking and futuristic, but you do get a lot of stuff that comes in the box with the Tineco. You get 40 minutes run time on that, on low, by the way. And then here's the Dyson. You do get a few things. You also get 40 minutes on low with the Dyson. But here's what's cool about the Ryobi. All the bat rays are interchangeable with their drills and all their other tools. So if I were to use a 4H, which comes in the package, you get 35 minutes on low. But if you have an 8H, you get like 70 minutes. So here's all the stuff that comes with the Tineco, and yeah, you get a wall hanger and everything. You do get a few things in the package with this kit, so I was happy to see that. And I did like the look of this. Some people that had seen it said they didn't care for it, but I like the clear and the white and the black with all that. I thought it looked kind of cool. Now, it does come with a 21.6 volt bat ray, and the only thing about these things is it doesn't work on anything else other than a vacuum. If you wanted to buy a replacement, you're looking at $59 for this thing. Now we'll talk about charging, but when this thing is charging, that light, you can barely see it, and it doesn't tell you how much longer you have to go before this thing charges up. You just gotta sit there and wait for it to be a solid green. Here's a different view for your viewing pleasure, but again, it's dark. You can't really tell what's going on, and I just don't like that. Now you got a 2-year warranty on the Dyson, you got a 2-year warranty on the Tineco, but you got a 3-year warranty on the Ryobi. All right, speaking of Dyson, let's open up the box and show you what comes with this. And I gotta be honest with you, I know they got name recognition, but for the price of this thing, I think somebody's smoking the good stuff over there. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm talking about here later in the video, but this comes with a built-in bat ray. Now, the thing about it is you do get a few things with the Dyson. The built-in, I guess that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about this thing, I don't know, getting lost or anything. But one of my questions, and I found very strange, is that this thing was dirty. I mean, this is a new vacuum, but it was all cruddy coming out of the box. Like, this is made for cleaning, so why is it cruddy? I don't understand. You see what I'm saying here? That's not real nice like. But anyway, to plug this thing in, you got the plug, and it just goes into the back of the unit like so, and then you'll see the blue lights starting to illuminate. They'll blink, and at least it tells you sort of how much more time you have during the charging phase. But trust me, we'll talk about the battery charging. Believe that. Let's open up the Ryobi and see what comes in here. Now you get a few things, but what I was excited to see was they give you a high performance 4AH, not one of their lower end bat rays. This is the top of the top, so I'm glad to see that. I also like their base way better than the other bases. It's a little bit longer, a little bit bulkier, but it's built way better than the other two. These are like chintzy plastic. They go up and down. The Ryobi, it does go long ways. However, this thing is built much better. It's closed in on the back. You got some electronics, and you just plug this into an outlet, and then you just drop the sweeper down in, or the vacuum down in there, and it charges up. So way better, and you can put all of your attachments on this much easier if you ask me. So you do get quite a bit. I really do like that they added these little straws here. You get into those crevices of the truck, or the couch, or whatever you're using this for. I don't know. These are not binoculars. They just hang things. But you got 2 rollers on this compared to the 1 roller on the Dyson and the Tineco. And I do like this black look on Ryobi. Also very simple to operate. I'll show you all this. Let's get these things charged. All right, I'm going to tell you straight out, the Dyson was an absolute nightmare to charge this thing up. It took hours for this thing to charge. When I had the Dyson and I had the Tineco plugged in together, it was only pulling like 31 watts, but the Ryobi was charging at 189 by itself on the rapid charger. This thing here just kept blinking and blinking. I could not believe how long it took to charge. It was ridiculous. The Tineco did a little bit better, about an hour and a half worth of charging, but the Ryobi was like 35 minutes on the rapid charger, which was way faster than both of these. The Dyson was just a complete failure when it came to charging. I was mortified with how long it took. And again, with the Ryobi, if you don't have the rapid charger, it will take a little bit longer on the hanger, but you can still just hang it and charge it. Now, let's talk about some of the cool stuff. I just dropped this thing here, and the reason for it is every stick vacuum, you can't stand them up. You have to lean them up against something, and then they slide off the thing you lean them up against, and it's just a nightmare when it comes to stick vacuums. It's a very aggravating process to get these things to stand up. So the Dyson won't stand up straight, the Tineco won't stand up straight, but where the Ryobi stands on its own, get it? I made a little bit of joke. Well, it does. It stands on its own. You can stand this thing up. I can push it around a little bit and move it around a little bit. And it ain't going to fall. So I was happy to see this. They didn't even have this on their previous model, which I love. This is their previous model. And again, I love this vacuum, but even it won't stand up straight. But I'm happy they fixed that. Anyway, that's a big plus for me. You can see these things sort of standing side by side, but let's talk about the size comparison. The Ryobi is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier than the other two models. So if you are looking for something that's the smallest on the market, the most nimble, then the Ryobi is definitely not the one for you. It's just bigger than both of them. However, they're all very light. They all feel pretty good in the hands. But what about the suction? This is the part that you want to know about. Are these able to pick up different things? I don't know if I want to clean or if I want to bake. We got a few different things going on. We got some Cheerios. We got one of my personal favorites, the Cocoa Pebbles. I like the Fruity Pebbles a little bit better. But we're going to use and abuse. So right now we're going to try the sugar first. And we're going to use the Dyson to go with the sugar. And then we're going to switch it over to the Tineco. And then we're going to move it over. We're just going to see which one does best. So first up, let's do the sugar. And the Dyson does a very good job on the sugar. All right, so here's another thing that I can't stand about this Dyson. I gotta be honest with you, I hate the Dyson. I'm just telling you, I'm gonna ruin the video. I hate the Dyson. The way you take this thing out or open this, you gotta pull this handle and then you gotta pull it all the way up and then the bottom. It's just cheap plastic. I feel that this thing's gonna break, and then if you pull it up high enough, then the bottom opens up, and it's just, I don't like the Dyson. Listen, I know I'm going to catch some hate on this because people, some people love Dyson. The people that I talk to that own this exact, which my neighbor owns the exact same one, as soon as he's seen it, it's like, I hate this thing. I hate it. It fails and everything. I hate it. Too. Oh, by the way, we're going to use a little bit more sugar. I'm going to keep it fair. I like sugar. It's delicious. All right, so let's add a little bit more sugar and we'll try the Tineco, and then we're going to go to the Ryobi, not Ryobi. All right, here we go. All three of these, by the way, super quiet. Now here's where I was surprised. See that white little piece of sugar? For some reason, I can't pick this thing up. Like, it just keeps moving around on me. Like, it's not that big of a piece of sugar. I can't pick it up with the Tineco. Like, I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, what is going on? And it just won't pick it up. I'm like lifting up the, it's crazy. There it is again. Look, I just kicked it back in front because I drug it back, but I can't pick it up. I mean, it's just a small piece of sugar. All right, let's try the Ryobi, not Ryobi, with the sugar. And what I notice is it takes the lump and then you pull back and it does a good job cleaning it up. So it doesn't suck it all up at once, which was kind of weird, but when you pulled it back, it took everything up. Let me show you this again. Push that down and turn it on. It'll take the heavy bulk of it. And you pull it back and it'll clean it up. So it's like a forward, backwards. It gets everything really good. It didn't do it all at once. So I want to point that out. All right, so next up we got the sprinkles. And oh, I love the sprinkles. Now, this was a major, major disappointment when it came to a certain vacuum. And that vacuum is, my friend, the Dyson. Now, it is pulling some of them up, but a lot of them are getting just thrown across the floor. Like, I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but they were getting tossed in the corners. Very little of these have been pulled up into the bin. Even when they're scattered out and there's only a couple of them, like, it did a horrendously bad job. But listen, I have nothing against Dyson. This is the first time I've ever used a Dyson. I was mortified again by how poorly it picked these things up. Like, it literally pushed them instead of sucking them. It blew instead of sucked. Now, eventually, after a while, we did get some into our bin. But wow, if that was in my kitchen, I would have been so mad. But we're going to do this again, scatter them out. And we're going to use the Tineco and see how this thing does. The Tineco did 1,000,000 times better than the Dyson did. Like 1 billion, quadrillion, zillion, trillion times better than the Dyson. The Ryobi is up next, and I'm fingers crossed hoping that, oh yeah. It also did 1 billion times better than the Dyson. Like, it's like night and day. Both of them just destroyed the Dyson. Now we got some ground kofifi, my friends. Let's see how this does. We'll put it down. We'll switch it up a little bit here, but we're going to lay it. Yeah. Scatter that out a little bit, my friends. All right, we got the Ryobi, not Ryobi, and did a perfect job on the coffee. Why am I out of focus? Right here. It's not real nice. Like, okay, Ryobi did an amazing job. Let's do that again, though, with the Tineco. Sorry about the focus here, my friends, but the Tineco did an amazing job as well. Now, what about the Dyson? Turn it on and does a good job with the coffee grounds. No issues there. I thought I was going to spit it all over the place, but it did good. This, my friends, however, this is the test that I want to show you. It's a cereal. I love cereal. I had already told you I like the Cocoa Krispies. I must tell you, this was a hard test, a hard review to make, because I wanted to eat everything that I was sweeping up. I mean, it was delicious. I almost forgot what I was doing at that moment. Oh, that cocoa. Love me some of that cocoa. Cocoa Krispies. Delicious in my belly. All right, give me a second, all right? I'm almost done. Oh, it's delicious. So as per usual, we have quite the mess on the floor because of my cereal addiction. Not only do we have those tasty Cocoa Krispies, we got some almonds and churros on that floor. Now, first we're going to try the Dyson. Now for a $370 or $80 sweeper, you can see once again the Dyson sucks. This thing's just pushing the things around. I wasn't expecting it to pick up all of it. I was just expecting it to pick up some of it. And it just pushes it. I'll show you why here in a bit. So that was a failure. Next up is the Tineco. Yeah, I really thought that this thing would have done a little bit better. It was performing pretty well with the other tests that I was doing. But once again, just pushes it. So got a lot of that cereal. Listen, this is a morning routine between me and the kids. This is what the floor looks like in the morning. I'm sorry. I lose my cereal. But I really thought this would do better. Just, it's not. And again, I'll show you why. Now, let's try the Ryobi, not Ryobi, but we're going to put way more down. We're going to go with the rest of the bag here. Such a waste. I don't know. I might come back for this later. We're going to throw way more Cheerios with the almonds that I never touch. So I believe there's way more here now than there was in the other two tests. But watch what the Ryobi, not Ryobi, does. It is able to pick these up. It pulls it back. It's not kicking this stuff around. Now the smaller stuff. It was able to pick up all of that, which sort of blew my mind. I was like, that's real nice. Look at it. It's all in there. Everything that I put down is now in that vacuum container. That did a fantastic freaking job. I mean, that was impressive. I may make a smoothie out of this later. I'm not sure yet. I think that would be, take the Cheerios and the almonds out, I think we got something. But the reason why the Ryobi, not Ryobi, did it, well, number one, it has two brushes, which, by the way, are very simple to remove, to take out, clean, or replace if you ever needed to. However, you can clearly see that up on top here, there is a gap that allows the Cheerios and the cereal to get up inside that vacuum much easier than it is on the other vacuums. This is what it looks like on the Tineco. You don't have that. It's sort of just like pushes it, right? And the Dyson is basically designed the exact same way, where it just pushes it. Like, it's not sucking it up in the front of the sweeper. And this here, what is this? I don't know. The Dyson, even my neighbor's like, as soon as he's seen it, it's like, it's a horrible vacuum. I know I'm going to get some hate because everyone's like, I love my Dyson. It's junk. This is junk. For the price range, like if it was like $150, I'm like, yeah, it's a good vacuum. But listen to the difference in the power too. Here's the Dyson. Here's the Tineco. Here's the Ryobi, not Ryobi. It just has a lot more power. But what about carpet? So here's the thing. The Dyson was horrible at it. It would always get stuck. It would just stop. Like it would get bunched up and didn't have enough power. It would just get all bunched up and it was horrible. Tineco did a little bit better, but basically the same thing. However, Ryobi did a very good job. You can see it just stops. But the Ryobi destroyed them both on the carpet. And what's nice about it is you have that tangle management. You have the two rollers where you're not going to get as much tangle. But even if you did, they give you a special little tool. It's very easy to clean everything out of here. But didn't suck that carpet up, but it cleaned it very well. Ryobi did a far superior job on this. Now, as far as it goes with the canisters, the Ryobi's super easy to clean out. The Tineco super easy to clean out. The Dyson, I don't like it. I think it's cheap. I think it feels like it's gonna break. I just don't like the Dyson. As far as it goes with the max fill, you're definitely getting a bigger canister on the Ryobi, and they also do come with filters. They're all like HEPA. You do have 3 different on the Dyson. You got a couple different on Tineco. This one here, you got one on the back as well. So you're spending a lot of money on all these filters. A lot of people will say, well, you know, it's probably going to offer you better protection against the dust escapage, but I've never had any issues with dust escaping from any of these other vacuums, you know, the Ryobis that I've used in the past or anything else. So out of everything, you know, I hate the battery on this. It takes forever to charge on the Dyson. I just don't like it. I mean, it's easy to use. You got the low max, very, very standard stuff. The Dyson came in a very distant third. Number 2 was the Tineco. I do like that you can replace the battery if you wanted to buy extra ones, and I did like the design altogether. I thought it did pretty good on a lot of the tests. It was quiet. However, it doesn't stand out by itself, and you have to have a special battery for just that one thing. I did like the auto max on here, so it's sort of like a smart thing. You do got the lights that go around telling you if there's anything wrong with it. So it came in at a second for me. You know, when it comes down to it, it's all about cleaning. And that's why I gave the Ryobi the number 1 out of all of these. And, you know, it beat out the Tineco on a few different things majorly. On some things, you know, I think the Tineco did a little bit better, but as far as it goes with power, ease of use, and I love that you can switch out any Ryobi battery on this thing. You're not stuck with one for just a vacuum, and then that's all you can use. You can use these on the drills, you can use it on your saws, and then your vacuum. And the other thing I really like, I like the color of it, the power. You were able to get those very large pieces of chunkage from the sear rail. I thought it did a really good job, and I love that it stands up on its own. You don't have to lean it up against anything. So the number 1, in my opinion, and this is why I love I always tell people I love the Ryobi vacuums. It's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit bulkier, but they did a really good job on this, and this is even better than the previous model. So I'm very happy that they included the 4AH with this, and for the price, it's not bad at all either. It's way cheaper than the Dyson. And long story short, I'm giving it to the Ryobi, hands down winner. Again, all the features, the stand up, the swappable bat rays, the power, and how it worked on carpet. It's a clear winner for me. Let me know what you think in that shwee comment section below. I'll tag all 3 of these in the shopping bag attached to this video if you want to check them out.